going on, guys? Welcome back to Tech Time with T. Today I'm going to show you guys how to change the thermostat in a Hyundai Santa Fe 2004. Let's go. So the first thing what you want to do before we start proceeding on to changing the thermostat, you always want the car engine to cool down. So you don't want to do it when you just drove somewhere. So so first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop up the hood of the car and just let the car sit there for about an hour, hour and a half. And after that, once it cools down, we'll proceed to changing the thermostat. So I'm going to show you guys the parts right now. So right here in front of me is the thermostat. The number for it is 14128. And I also have the gasket right here. The number for that is 35764. So I just want to tell you guys, it's very important. These two parts are sold separately, so make sure you get both. Okay, the gasket is very important. It actually prevents leak, so it prevents the antifreeze from leaking out of your engine. So make sure you get both. So after the engine is cooled down, the first step is to take the engine cover off. So there's 6 bolts. It uses a 10mm socket. So that's what we're gonna do first. Okay, so finally just took all the 6 bolts out in these 6 locations right here. I'm going to take off the engine cover. Now the thing is, with the engine cover, don't just pull it up. You actually have to push it in a diagonal motion and then kind of up. The reason why is because you don't want to be damaging the hose right here, right next to the cover engine. So just be careful with that, okay? So the next step is to take the radiator cap off, and after that you're going to go under the car and pretty much drain the antifreeze. So the next step is to go under the car. What we're going to do is we're going to use a 12mm socket. We're going to go and undo the screws for the guard panel. We're going to take the guard panel out, and after that we can go get to the drain plug so we can drain the antifreeze from the car.
So approximately how many bolts are there?
There's approximately 10 bolts at the bottom. So the next step is to essentially drain the antifreeze. So as you can see, it's draining right now, and I can't really show you guys, how to do it, but I'll explain it to you guys. So essentially, you want to take a Phillips head screwdriver. You want to go under the car on the driver's side. See where it's coming out right now? There's a little small hole with this plug right there. You want to stick the screwdriver up that hole and just give it a little turn. Once you turn it out, just make sure you get out of the way because it's going to start draining. So just be careful. And yeah, it's pretty simple. As you can see right now, it's draining right now. So the next step is I'm going to go and unscrew 3 bolts, 12mm bolts. So in order for me to get to the thermostat, in order for me to get to all 3 bolts, I had to take the air filter out. Gave me a little bit more room to work with. Also decided to take one of the hose out that connects to the thermostat. So it's because, as you can see, it's pretty difficult to get to. So be careful, go easy on the bolts and removing everything. You don't want to be damaging anything. So in order to remove the air filter, there are actually two bolts that you need to undo. There's one right here. This one uses a 10mm. And then there's one at the bottom as well. That one uses a 10mm as well. So I also decided to undo the screw on these wires right here. This uses a 10mm socket. By doing that, it allows me for a little bit of mobility. Also, it makes it easier to get to the bottom screw that connects to the thermostat. So this is the 10mm screw that is attached to the thermostat.
And that's the bottom piece?
Yeah, that's the bottom piece. It's very difficult to get to, so be a little bit patient with it. Don't rush it. So, like I said before, you don't want to damage anything. So right now, proceeding to take off the top two screws that's attached to the thermostat. These are a lot easier.
Out in the open?
What was it?
Out in the open?
Yeah. So another advice, don't drop the screw. That'd be a problem. So as when you start feeling that it's starting to become really loose, start to use your finger, kind of support it and bring it out slowly. Or you can just unscrew it with your finger. So, got all the 3 screws out. Now it's just simply be careful with it. You're just gonna pull it out, and it should easily come out. So, and as you can see, this div, it's gonna be a little bit of antifreeze coming out. After that, just take a rag and dry it up a little bit. That's what it looks like. So this is the thermostat right here. As I said before, the next step is to take the thermostat out. I tried taking it out by hand, but I was really stuck in there, so instead I'm going to use a screwdriver, just kind of stick it in between here and just pry it out. And when you do, a lot of antifreeze will pour out, so just make sure you have a bucket under the car. So we finally put the thermostat back in. Next step is very important. You want to clean the surface of the cover that goes on top of the thermostat, because if you don't clean it, it won't fit properly, and it can also cause dirt to get in or any type of leaks as well. Gonna put the cover of the thermostat back on now, and so like I said before, there's 3 screws, so make sure this lines up. So what you want to do is you want to put a screw here and a screw here as well to keep it from falling down, and then you can proceed to putting the 3rd screw at the bottom. And the next one, not really looking forward to the next one. I put all 3 screws back onto the thermostat cover. Make sure you put the hose back on, put the clamp in the correct position, and I'm going to proceed on to putting the screw to make the wire tight again. Next, I'm going to install the bottom part of the air intake. Okay, so once you pretty much put the screw back on the corner right here to pretty much stabilize the lower part of the air filter. We're gonna proceed it on to putting the 3 bolts that hold down the bottom part of the air filter. So the next step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the drain plug back in, and we're gonna add the antifreeze. Okay guys, so putting the drain plug back in, so I actually snuck the drain plug above here, and then using the screwdriver, I'm gonna screw it right back in. So next I'm going to be adding the antifreeze. So I'm using the Prestone 50-50 pre-diluted. You buy the ones that's not pre-diluted, make sure you mix it with water.
Look at the video. The manifold, is it manifold? That's what it's called? Look at the color.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's gotta come off.
So now we're gonna screw the 6 bolts back on, put the engine cover back on, and yeah, just finish it up. So that's pretty much how you change the thermostat in a Hyundai Santa Fe 2004. So make sure you like the video as well as subscribe to the channel. Until next time.
Open, action.
What's going on, guys? This is oh my god. I always want to introduce myself. You get it?
Cut. Drain plug, action.
So just finishing up the
Cut.